Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to a special live stream here on the channel. Quick little chat. All right, Saturday morning. Had some free time here. It seems like the last couple weekends I've had a cool little hour free in my day. Figure why not check in and go online with all of you, see what's happening. What I've been doing this morning, I actually just got done watching Psycho Goreman. Of course, you know I'm a horror movie fan, so that's this pretty cool creature feature flick that I just checked out. Was listening to earlier in the day. For those of you Canterbury Prague fans, little national health, right? Oh, we got folks coming in. We got the Pearsonator. We got Doc, super awesome. Jim Norin, Faluda from the depths. Wow, all sorts of people. Zephyr, Derek S. Killer shirt. Thank you so much. Adventures in Utopia. Love it. Big fan of that album. Boston VH. Hope you're doing well. Well, you caught a live one now, right? Better late than never, I always say, right? So Kyle Hommel taking a day trip to Rock Fantasy today. Well, awesome. Awesome. I'm actually thinking I might be hitting Rock Fantasy next week. Grandson's going to be here for a couple days, and I think we might take him to go play some pinball over at Steve's, so possibly next weekend. Mr. Lasante, what's going on? How are you, Rob? Pete, I couldn't help but notice you haven't done any videos on the Cars. No, I mean, I'm not a tremendous Cars fan, but I do have all their albums now, so I may do a ranking album at some point in time. It's not, not overly applicable to what we cover here on the channel, but perhaps someday. How's your evening, Pete? My evening last night was okay. Went to the brewery at Orange County Hops for a bit. Drank a few beers, went out to the warehouse for dinner. So did some local stuff last night. Came back, watched the Met game. Jacob deGrom pitched another gem. What else we got here? XTC, Taron Sabbath, jamming some XTC, very cool. Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick have a million albums. I only have like a small portion of them. So no, I won't be doing a Cheap Trick album ranking. What famous musician would I love to interview? Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath. He would be my ultimate. Everybody finally caught a live stream. There you have it. Thoughts on the new Wolfgang Van Halen album? Have not heard it. I've only heard the 2 songs. Pretty good. I'm hoping to get my Black Sabbath Sabotage box set in today. We'll see. When is my Metal Church ranking the albums posting from Entertainment Examiner? I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to be doing that with Jack Toledano. He just closed on a new small little house that they picked up upstate New York. And he's going to be really busy doing that. So I don't know. We'll try and get it in sometime this month. If not, it'll be a July thing. But it's coming. It's coming. Relatively close. Tepid Tooth 85. Not sure where you live, but I am in the Hudson Valley. Yeah, Psycho Goreman was a lot of fun. I really dug it. I love the old school creature effects, and it was pretty gory. It was funny. A lot of laugh out moments. Destruction album ranking. I mean, and again, they got a lot of albums. I don't have enough of them. I love Destruction though. Would you ever do a ranking of Riot albums? Again, ton of albums. I don't have nearly everything. I have a lot of the early Riot albums. I don't own anything like past 1990, although I've heard a couple of them. So do I like the Smiths? Not my cup of tea. Jesus, man, you guys are firing away on the questiones here. Let's see if we can are you planning to do an extra episode of last month's show? Not right at the moment. I might get them later in the month or perhaps next month. We'll see. I only had a couple that I didn't really get to. I may just revisit that whole concept again in a couple of months. We'll see. I mean, there's so much to do, guys. Could you do a review on Shadow Gallery? You talking about an album ranking? Pretty sure I already did that. Check out here on this. I'm pretty sure I ranked the albums of Shadow Gallery. So check that out here on the channel. Have you heard the Finnish band Kingston Wall? Oof, man, yes, I've heard of them. I don't know if I've heard any of their albums at all. There's so many bands out there. Would you do a Journey album for Classic Album Rewind? I don't know. I don't have them on my list as of yet. It's kind of hard to do one for them because, like for me, they've got a bunch of classic albums, and it's hard to pick just one, right? So I thought about doing Frontiers as a classic to follow up to Escape, right? But they're both like pretty much on the same level. I might do that. It's kind of like today's Wish You Were Here and Dark Side of the Moon type of thing. So, but yeah, The Journey, definitely I'm going to consider them. We'll kind of see how that goes. We got David listening to Thin Lizzy. Awesome. Another show idea, best comedic song parodies. I wouldn't even know where to go with that. Not really my cup of tea, but interesting idea. Have you ever thought of a T-Rex ranking the albums? I don't own any T-Rex albums other than a compilation, so probably not the right guy for that. I'm 18. My last day of high school is Wednesday, and we have a history of rock class at my school, and I managed to get Gene Simmons to video chat in the Monday while we were doing that. Wow, that's pretty neat. Very cool. Planning to see Judas Priest's 50th anniversary tour. Yep, I got my ticket the other day. I'm going to be going to Newark, New Jersey to see that Judas Priest and Sabaton. In fact, myself and Rich Catino are going together. So, and Chris Allo will be there. I believe Ryan Scow will be there. I think Lynn Versace and Nick Franco will also be there. So if anybody's going to the Newark, New Jersey show for Judas Priest, you're going to see a whole bunch of Sea of Tranquility folks there. So that'll be pretty neat. Any thoughts on the Deftones? Not my cup of tea. Sorry. Yeah. So Nick Yusofian, what's going on? Yes, Nick, Psycho Gorman. A lot of fun. Stefan, have you heard the Swedish band Silver Mountain? Yeah, absolutely. I have a whole bunch of Silver Mountain reissues that came out probably like a decade ago. Yeah, good band. Really good band. Paul McCartney album ranking. I mean, I assume you mean the solo albums. You know what? I stopped listening to Paul's stuff after Wings broke up. I have like the first Paul solo album right after that, after Back to the Egg. That's about as far. I've just never, I love Paul, love the 70s stuff, love the Beatles. I've just never, nothing really grabbed me that much from his solo stuff post like the early 80s. Can you give us your top 1,000 albums of all time? That's not going to happen. Russell Kraft, okay, it's October 72. Ian Gillan announces he is leaving Deep Purple. The band and studio decide to support Ian rather than Richie, and Blackmore gets kicked out. Who is the new guitarist? Wow. That's a great question. In Deep Purple. Well, how about the guy who tried out for them originally, Mr. Clem Clemson? Interesting choice, right? I don't know. That's a great question. I have to give that some thought. Kind of hard to see, to think of Deep Purple without Blackmore during that time period. But yeah, who knows? Pete, do you feel sometimes I feel like Screaming would have become a timeless hit if it was released back in the day and not 1996? Yeah, possibly. It's a great song. I love that album from Perpendicular, and it's got all the things you love about Purple. It's got some great Steve Morse guitar work. Yeah, I mean, imagine if that came out in 84, 86, something like that, possibly. Which band do you like more, Genesis or Yes? I'm a little bit more in the favor of Genesis, specifically like Duke and Back. So generally I rank Genesis just a little bit higher than Yes, but I love Yes as well. So they're probably like almost neck and neck. But for me, like Trespass through Duke, even though like Close to the Edge is my ultimate prog album, I still, when you kind of stack all those albums up together, I usually lean slightly in favor of Genesis, but it's not by much. Not by much. Do you care for anything by Joan Jett? Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not much of a fan of Joan Jett. Don't dislike her at all, but her music just doesn't really do a lot for me. Have I ever done an interview with David Coverdale? Nope, he's another one on my bucket list. So I will get David Coverdale on this show at some point. Trust me, I will. Hello, from the Albany area. Cool. Did you see that Tony Levin is playing a show out there next Thursday? I haven't heard that, but Tony lives not that far from me, so that's not surprising. Maybe he's playing at Bearsville, right? Because I think isn't he playing a show with him and his brother, if I'm not mistaken. Thoughts on rock in opposition music, otherwise known as RIO. I have to be in the mood for it, and there's only a handful of bands that I really can get into. That's a style of prog rock that for me is it's a little difficult at times, but I do like some bands like Universe Zero, Present. There's a few others for the most part, but some of it is just hard for me to get into. How about a Great White Countdown? Sorry, I don't own any Great White albums. Never a huge fan. I like a couple of the early albums, but I've never just kind of kept up with their music. Who's my favorite wrestler? I mean, I used to be a big wrestling fan. I really haven't followed wrestling. I don't watch it anymore. I kind of still follow what's going on, but I don't really watch it. I always thought Ric Flair was just like the ultimate wrestling entertainer. Stone Cold Steve Austin was always one of my favorites. I liked the Ultimate Warrior when I was a kid, when I was younger. I shouldn't say a kid, but when I was like in my 20s. I guess I was a kid back then, right? Considering how old I am now. Yeah, I mean, but there's a lot of really good technical wrestlers, and there always have been. I know people don't like to speak his name anymore based on what happened, but I always thought Chris Benoit was a terrific wrestler. I always loved watching him. What a tragedy, right? Am I thinking of buying another guitar? If so, what's on your list? Actually, I'm pretty set with what I have. I haven't bought the last one I got was that Paul Reed Smith right there. And that was about a year and a half ago. I don't have any desire at the moment to get any more. I mean, I have enough. Honestly, I don't play as much as I'd like. I'm just so busy with this and with the day job that it's really hard to find time to just sit and play for an hour or two anymore. And so, I noodle a bit, like if I'm sitting down watching TV, or occasionally if I have a little break in the day, I'll pull out one of the guitars and maybe plug in or not and just play for 15, 20 minutes and go back to what I was doing. So yeah, I have all the guitars I really ever wanted at this point. I'm more of a kind of like a collector who dabbles and has played since he was 15 years old. And that's like, I'm not really that good. I don't play in bands. I'm not professional. I don't record anything, that sort of thing. But I love guitars, and I love guitar music, love listening, love playing for what I do. And yeah, that's about it. So, but no, I'm pretty happy with what I have. I have nothing on my want list at the moment. Are there any days when you don't listen to any music? If yes, then what do you do in your free time? I think it's very rare that there's a day where I don't listen to anything. But if I'm not going to listen to music, watching films, watching movies is a passion of mine. So for those of you who follow like the Monsters Den, I love watching horror films, whether it's old stuff or more recent stuff. 70s, 80s, 90s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I love that sort of thing. So it's superhero stuff. So if I'm not listening to music, I'm watching movies or reading a book or reading comic books or something like that. So I love doing that sort of thing. That's what I do to fill up free time, or going hanging out with the wife somewhere, or doing whatever, or sitting by the pool. But usually, even if I'm sitting by the pool, I'm reading or listening to music or something like that. Yeah, I know, so many questions. I'm telling you, it's crazy. What do we got here? What do you think of Black Metal by Venom? Love it. Classic album. Chris, just so you know, I know I've announced it before, and Chris and I just haven't been able to kind of pin it down, but Chris, Al, and I are going to do a ranking the albums of Venom at some point this summer, so stay tuned for that. The band Oregon from Hermit Traveler. Yeah, great band. I love Oregon. I think I have pretty much everything they've ever done or close to it. Really, really great band. Let's see. Pete, hi from Ireland. Where do you get the time to do all the videos, listening, etc.? Yeah, it's not easy. So I sleep 6 hours a day, or a night, I should say. I work a full-time job during the day, so I'm an early riser. So generally speaking, I'm up at 6:30 in the morning, take the dogs out, feed them, have breakfast, take a shower, and then I record a video or two first thing in the morning. Then I work my day job from 9 to 5, and then have dinner with the wife, whatever, maybe have a little time after that. And then usually 7 or 8 o'clock, there's usually a video shoot, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, usually from like 7-ish till like 10, usually shooting videos, loading stuff up onto YouTube. Wednesday is I keep free, and Friday I keep free as well. And the weekends I do some stuff here and there. But yeah, it's hard sometimes to find time to listen to everything and get everything done. And so I have a pretty crazy schedule. But it's working, keeps me busy. I enjoy it. That's the important thing. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. What else we got here? Yeah, from what I'm hearing, DeGrom isn't hurt bad. He's not too worried about it, so we'll see. I think the smart thing to do would be to skip his next start, but he doesn't seem like he wants to do that, so we'll see. We got to keep this guy healthy, man, because he's having a historic year, and we don't want it to end, right? This is New York Mets talk for everybody who's wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Hey, Pete, got a couple of concerts to go this year, including Dirty Honey twice, opening for Black Crowes next month in Detroit. Yeah, Black Crowes are playing near me in Bethel Woods. I don't think I'm going to go. I've seen them before. I'm not an enormous Black Crowes fan. I like them, but there's other things I'd rather see if I'm going to go to a couple concerts. I am going to Leonard Skinner in Kansas. I did get tickets for that as well. Yes, Rich, I am getting peppered with questions. This is nothing new. This is why I don't do too many of these, because when you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 people all asking questions, it's pretty impossible to get to all of them. So I'm trying to get to as many as I possibly can. I think I do a decent job. Hi, Pete. Have you ever listened to German language music? I believe I have a few prog rock albums from the 70s that have German vocals. That's a little difficult to listen to for me. There are some non-English speaking bands that I don't mind, like the Italians and the Spaniards. For me, are fairly easy to listen to. The German language stuff is a little difficult for me. I will, and if the next question is going to be, when are you going to do a ranking of Rammstein? I am not a Rammstein fan, or Rammstein, however you guys want to say it. Their music just doesn't do much for me. Sorry. What else? Axis Bold as Love for album Rewind. Yeah, possibly. I mean, you can pick any of those Hendrix albums, right? I mean, he's all great. Let's see. How about a German thrash show? Well, we've done a bunch of thrash shows. I mean, you could do like a show for every genre, for every country. That like opens up the doors to like a million different options, right? How do I feel about Stained? I don't. Anathema ranking. Yeah, probably at some point. I know Nick Franco and I have talked about doing that together. The problem is I don't have any of the early albums, and I've only heard bits and pieces of them. I'm pretty familiar with the latter half of their catalog, right? Would you do classic Rewind for Kiss? Stay tuned tomorrow. That's all I will say. What else? Tara and Sabbath going to see ZZ Top later this year. And yeah, that new Billy Gibbons album rules. Wow, I would love to catch ZZ Top at least one more time before they call it quits. So I will be looking out for them. I love ZZ Top. I have heard Now You and Me by Nancy Wilson. I quite like the album. Yeah, it's good. It's pleasant, right? It's good. It's it's not a very rocking album, but I think it's a good modern pop and rock album. And she sounds great, and it's just a fun album, right? It's a good summertime listen. Any thoughts on the 37 disc box set of Caravan? Also, any chance of a Riverside album ranking? Yeah, I saw the Caravan box set listed. I'm not going to get it. I mean, that's just way too music for my mind to grasp right now. I have the bulk of the Caravan catalog anyway. But Riverside, yeah, well, I actually have that on the list. So I think Stephen Reed and I will be tackling that at some point. So it's on the list to do. I don't know when it's going to happen. Hey, Preston, what do you think is a song that most Zappa fans wouldn't know but is really good? That they wouldn't know? Oh, my God. Try the Muffin Man. I think most folks who don't know much about Frank Zappa would probably dig that. A lot of fun. Good song. Rocks hard at the end and a killer guitar solo. Are there anywhere a particular reissue or remaster change your opinion on an album? Change my opinion on an album? I don't think so. Maybe, nah. Maybe Vapor Trails by Rush. I wasn't a huge fan of that album when it came out. I thought it sounded like shit. And then when they reissued it and they did a remix on it, I was like, you know what? I can appreciate this album a little more. I like the way it sounds better. It's easier on the ears for me. That's probably the one instance where I can think of. Most of the albums that they reissue and remaster and whatnot, I've already had a firm opinion on for many, many years. So I don't think a remix or a remaster is going to change my mind all that much. For the most part, none that really come to mind. Vapor Trails is really the only one I can think of. How about ranking the Magpie Salute catalog? I tend to stay away from fairly newish bands who only have a couple albums out that are still active, because you rank the 2 or 3 albums they have out, they're going to come out with another one next year. So Magpie Salute, that's for down the road a ways. I'm not gonna get into that now. It's a little too soon for that. I ranked the Ghost catalog, which I later probably wished I hadn't, but I know people want a lot of the newer bands. But it's just hard because they don't have big catalogs. They've only been around for a couple of years, and then you rank it, and then they have a new album come out the following year. Then everybody's like, "Oh, you're going to redo the ranking." It's like I'm not going to get into that constantly redoing rankings. So that's why I usually save the ranking shows for bands who have been around for a long time. It's just a little easier. What's your favorite quote from the channel? Not all the damn time. I got a lot of them. I got to tell you guys, I totally get off on all the different sayings that people do. For me, I mean, I haven't tabulated things yet because I'm going to leave it up for a little bit, but nothing has brought a bigger smile to my face than to read the comments section of the video that I posted a couple days ago, asking everybody to list their favorite kind of sayings and quotes and things from the channel, because it brought back so many great memories. I mean, I get off on that stuff. I love all of our contributors and some of the cool things they say. I mean, some of the ones for me that I just absolutely love. I love Chris Allo's, yeah, that's a shitter. I love that. I mean, I love Chris. He has some of the greatest one-liners in the history of this show, and he's had so many great ones. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to kind of give it all away today because I want to put a list together, but I am going to put together my favorite list of best quotes from this channel, not including my own, of course, from all of my fellow Sea of Tranquility folks. And I'm going to put together my list and I'm going to present that to you guys. So that'll be coming probably in a week or so, because I have a lot of them. I truly, I'm a big fan of quotable lines from movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So for me, when I hear these things on the channel, I mean, there's stuff that Chris Allo says, that Martin Popoff, that Butch, and various other people that have said on the channel, and they say it often, Ryan Scow, and I always remember them. And so I'm going to present my list. Don't you worry, it'll be fun. What else we got here? Do you plan on double an album review for the last Dennis DeYoung? Hold on. I lost my place. Holy cow. I lost my place. Yeah, John McEntee's The Asshole Note. That's a great one too. What do I think of Robin Ford? I love Robin Ford, but I want to get back to the oh man, there's a million questions here. Holy moly. Man, all right. I don't know where I am here, and there's probably so many here. Ranking the albums of Lady Gaga when it's not appropriate for this channel, Nova Jam. Sorry. I mean, I don't dislike Lady Gaga, but I'm not going to rank the Lady Gaga albums. Oh, is Rand Kelly on here? I see. I Love Heavy Metal Rules is talking to Rand. Let's see. What's my favorite? Oh, from Warren Field. What's my favorite guitar that I own? It kind of fluctuates, Warren. I would probably say my favorite guitar, my favorite is probably my Les Paul Standard. All right, which is this one right here. All right, that's probably my favorite, but I will say probably my favorite to play is probably my Gold Top Traditional. It's just so comfortable. It sounds amazing. The neck is just amazing. The Paul Reed Smith, I'm still kind of getting used to. But, I love my Butterscotch Telly as well. So, but I would say probably the standard and the traditional, probably my two favorites at the moment anyway. Do I ever listen to U2 from Happiness? Nah, I'm not a huge U2 fan. I have a greatest hits that I bought a million years ago. I never play it. Not really a big fan. From Tyler Peterson. Hey, Peter, you a fan of Miles Kennedy's solo work? You know what? I've only heard that acoustic kind of album that he did a year or two ago. It didn't really do much for me. I love him as a singer. Love him in Alter Bridge. Love him with the stuff he's done with Slash. But I mean, that's about it. I'm not, there's just so much stuff to get and listen to. I asked this to Lair the Alchemist, so I'll ask you too. This is from Maximilian. If you could negate any one lineup change in the history of music, regardless of the reason, which one would you pick? If I would negate any lineup change. Whew. Well, here it is. And again, I know if I negate this lineup change, it kind of stops what happens after it, and I get all that. But I would negate Ritchie Blackmore kind of breaking up that first, or that classic lineup of Rainbow. So in other words, Ronnie, yeah, you know what? But then he doesn't go to Black Sabbath. I can't say that. Sorry, I'm gonna have to rewind. Sorry, that can't happen. Wow, that's a good. No, here you go. This is easy. Peter Gabriel not leaving Genesis and Steve Hackett not leaving Genesis. That's the lineup change. So Peter Gabriel staying put in Genesis, even though you don't get then Trick of the Tail and Wind and Wuthering. I think I'd be okay with that. So that's what I'm gonna choose right now. Russell Gentile, hey, how are you, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, thanks for being a long-time subscriber. Yeah, you were one of the originals. What else we got here? What's your all-time favorite guitar tone on a specific album? Well, I got to tell you, I love Tom Schultz's guitar tone on that first Boston album, man. It doesn't get much better than that. That's fantastic. But, you know, some others that come to mind. Pure guitar tone. Man, Ronnie Montrose on the first Montrose album. Killer. I mean, Eddie's on the first 2 Van Halen albums are immense. Randy Rhoads on Diary of a Madman. You know, anything Tony Iommi's ever done. Sorry, I love Tony's tone. Gary Moore on Corridors of Power. I mean, I can go on and on, but those are some of my favorites. Have you ever heard of the Finnish goth band Entwine? Heard the name, never listened to anything. From Universal. Hi, are we talking music? No, we're talking cooking spaghetti. What do you think we're talking about here? Am I a fan of Raven? And if yes, have you ranked their discography? Nah, I mean, you know, I have like a Raven CD or 2. I've never been an enormous Raven fan. Again, there's just so many bands out there. I literally have stuff from thousands of them, but you can't own everything. Again, back to Robin Ford. I love Robin Ford. Would you do an album ranking? I don't have nearly his whole discography. He's got a ton of stuff. You should do a video on albums people hate that you love. I'm pretty sure we've done that. If not, it's on my list because I know it's on the list, and I thought maybe we did it. Maybe we just haven't gotten back around to it. But that's a cool concept. Have you heard of the U.S. band called Why Not? They sound a lot like a more popular Rush. Never heard of them. Do you like the krautrock band Can? Well, here's the deal. I have never really liked any Can that I have heard. I bought a couple of their albums on CD many, many years ago, and I did not like them at all, and I kind of got rid of them. But I recently, thank you, Anthony, came into getting this. This is Can live in Stuttgart, 1975, double live album just released, which will be featured on What's Hot with Sea Tranquility this week. This is tremendous. It's all instrumental, just kind of real cool, like psychedelic proggy jams, man. Woo, totally dug that. It's not like anything I remember hearing from the band. So tune in Wednesday. I'll be talking about that a little bit. Why don't you have a Van Halen shirt? Don't know. I don't have shirts from every single band. Honestly, I never saw any Van Halen shirts that I really loved. I don't really like most of the album covers, and just there was never anything that burning in me that said I have to have that Van Halen shirt to make my collection complete. So, which Black Sabbath member would you make love to? Come on, that's a ridiculous question. Ranking the albums of Riverside. All right, I've already answered that. What's your take on Rival Sons? Well, unless you're new to the channel, I have talked about Rival Sons a lot on the channel. Love them. Top 10 wrestlers. I already named my favorite wrestlers. From Allen House, BJJ. Just wanted to say I love your channel. You have introduced a lot of new bands. Thank you. That's the hope, right? Deal with the Preacher is the perfect concert opener. Great song. Selling England by the Pound. Yes, great introduction to Genesis, if that's the direction you chose. What's your favorite Grateful Dead song? Will I be checking out Dead and Company? I don't know if I will be, now all of a sudden they're announcing all these concerts. Yeah, I don't have the time to go to everything. And I've seen Further a couple times. So I don't know if I'll actually go to check out one of the shows. What's my favorite Grateful Dead song? I don't know, man. I don't remember what I picked as my favorite song. I've got a lot of Grateful Dead songs. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. There's a bunch of them that I like, but I don't know if for me, I tend to like albums from the Dead as opposed to just songs. You never mentioned Slipknot. Any reason for that? Because I'm not much of a fan. That's why. How is the compilation of the quotes sayings coming along? Like I said, the video's been up for 2 days, and people are hot and heavy putting stuff in there. So I really haven't sat down yet to start compiling everything. I'm going to give it a week or so. But yeah, I mean, there's amazing stuff in there. If you have a chance, go and read them, because it'll probably remind you of things that maybe you forgot about. There's a lot of people have put a lot of cool stuff on there. Mr. Lasante, how about Unleash the Archers? Everybody loves that band. I have only heard a little bit from them. What I've heard sounds pretty good. So yeah, very highly ranked or highly thought of band for a lot of people. Ranking the albums of Riot, please. Like I said earlier, I have all of the early Riot albums up to a point in the late 80s. They've released a ton of stuff after that, so I'm probably not the guy to do that. There's just too many albums that I don't have and have never heard. Arctic Monkeys, never heard of them. Do I like the Coverdale Page album? Yeah, totally dig it. Yes, it is record store day. If you have a local record store and you have time, get to your local record store. My drumming has increased tenfold thanks to this channel. Cool. That's a new one. I've never heard that. That's good. I don't know. How does that happen? Just because you're buying or listening to more music and practicing along to it, I hope. That's cool. How influential do you think Rory Gallagher was? From Scott Rosenquist. Really, very influential. Amazing guitar player. Probably one of those, I think you hate to call him underrated because I think everybody realizes how great Rory Gallagher always was, but maybe underappreciated by the masses. Absolutely. One of the great guitar players of all time. The Levin Brothers. Yeah, the Levin Brothers are playing at some theater that starts with an S in Hudson Falls on 6/17. Cool. Yeah, I heard that they were doing a little tour of the area. So Survivor ranking the albums. Yeah, that's coming this month. I'll be doing that with my two favorite Brits, Stephen Reed and Simon Bray. That'll be coming hopefully sometime later this month. Just got to get that scheduled. How do I feel about Angra? I like the first couple Angra albums, especially Holy Land, which I think is a classic. I really haven't listened to a lot after that, though. From Martin Van Leeuwen, I think you don't like harmonica, but do you like Toots Tielmans from Belgium? Never heard of him. And yeah, I'm not a huge harmonica fan, no. Trespass and Nursery Crime are the best Genesis albums. Well, they're great. I kind of like Foxtrot a little better, but Nursery Crime comes in like a close second for me, and I love Trespass. Aiden Gaming, you are ridiculous. Have I ever listened to Aussie weird rock band Skyhooks? Heard of them. Austin 316, that preach, brother. What is something you listen to once in a while that would shock the crowd? Shock the crowd? I don't know how shocking it would be. I occasionally like to listen to Barry Manilow or ABBA, you know. Lady Gaga occasionally. That's about it. You know, it's you know, I don't know how shocking that would be. I've actually said that plenty of times on the channel. From Kythe. Hey, Pete, greetings from Malahide in Dublin. Love your channel, man, especially when you and Martin are together. Congrats on building up such a great channel community. Huge Deep Purple fan, too. Awesome. Yeah, I love Deep Purple, and I love Martin Popoff, so, yeah. Mark Essex, whose side are you on in the great Never Say Die debate, Keeler or Allah? Well, I mean, if you've watched any of those videos where we have talked about those albums, you know which side I am. I do not like Never Say Die, never have. So that's an easy one. Are you a fan of Miles Kennedy's solo work? I just said that not 2 minutes ago. How about a Joe Bonamassa ranking the albums? Yeah, that's coming. It's on the list. I waited for Joe's most recent one to come out now that it's out. So yeah, it's just on the list. Just a matter of me getting around to it. Have you ever seen Dark Side of the Ring? I have not. Yeah, Rob, I know I like your Paul Reed Smith too. It's great guitar, right? I love it. It's so light. It's so light and that nice little neck. It's just like, it's almost like a mini guitar. Pretty cool. Definitely cool. Blaine, thoughts on Robin Ford? I've said that twice already. Have you listened to The Jam? What do you think? I've never bought anything by The Jam. I used to work with a bunch of guys in the 80s who were big Jam fans. Not really my cup of tea. Sorry. Songs that don't fit is a great conversation. Might be fun to hear the Prog Seat guys talk about jazz oddities. Jack T, Chris Hello, Butch, and Rich K talk metal. Not quite sure what you're asking here. Do I like the Screaming Cheetah Wheelies? I remember when that first album came out, I thought it was kind of cool. I never kept it. Yeah, it's good stuff, good stuff. But, cool, Ethan. Thanks for the kind words. Appreciate it. Do you think that after enough time, you might redo your top 10 videos and album ranks to see how much they've changed? Everybody asks me that. That's the massive undertaking. And then basically I'm just kind of rehashing what I've already done. I have so much other stuff I have yet to even get into here. So, a few years from now, possibly. But, I only just started the ranking shows like a year and a half ago. I'm not going to start redoing everything all over again. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, seeing as the list of to-do bands is enormous. And I won't be doing that anytime soon. How about a best title track show? Yeah, that's coming up. That's on the to-do list. So that's all right. Well, you know what? sometimes people just don't get it. I Troll's amazing. I'm not going to name his name, but I find it hilarious that people want to come on to like chats and forums and stuff and just be total assholes, and just like, look at me, look at me, look at me. So I'm not going to name you. I just put you in a timeout. If you continue to do it, you're gone. So it's very easy for me to click a button and just take away your access to posting here on the channel if you're just going to come here and be an asshole, right? So Miguel, love back to you, my man. What else? Nova Jams. I just told you there's not going to be a Lady Gaga ranking. Ranking of Peter Gabriel solo albums in the list. It's on the to-do list. On the to-do list. Songs that you prefer the studio version over live version. Yeah, see, I like the sped up version of Man on a Silver Mountain from the live Rainbow on Stage. I prefer it, actually. I think the live version is much better. Same thing with Kill the King. So I don't know. And in a lot of instances, I kind of it depends on the song, but it'd be interesting to pick to do a show where pick 10 tracks where you prefer one over the other, or maybe do one show where some classic tracks prefer the live version, and then classic tracks prefer the studio version. Interesting concept. I will have to give that some thought. Do you have a list of great vocalists that don't often end up on vocalist lists like Tom England, Jorn Landy? Yeah, I mean, if you watch my top vocalist shows, I usually give a bunch of honorable mentions. Those are the guys. What else? Favorite Western movies? I'm not an enormous Western fan, but I do like the spaghetti, some of the spaghetti Western stuff, and I love the Clint Eastwood Westerns. Those are really cool. How about introducing Wifey for a little chat Q&A? No, she has no interest in appearing on the channel. Sorry, I've tried. That's not going to happen. Can you recommend any bands that sound like Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules era Black Sabbath? Man, bunch of Jorn albums sound like that. Jorn Landy and his band, he's some of his stuff kind of sounds like that. I would say there's some Candlemass stuff that sounds a little like that as well. There's a lot of bands when you think about it. What's my favorite Dylan? Captain, you know the answer to that. None. Blur or Oasis? Not interested in either. We Need a Manowar albums ranked. Yeah, again, I'm familiar with the first handful of albums, all the stuff after. They got so many albums that I've never listened to or heard. So yeah, kind of hard to do that. I can see your Magic Blu-ray back there. I love that movie. Yeah, it's great, right? I just got that recently. I upgraded my my DVD. Oh, and The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. I don't know if you guys can see that. Probably not. It's up there. Fantastic movie. I just got that on Steelbook Blu-ray edition. Amazing. And what time? We're almost at the hour mark, so we're going to kind of keep this a little short. I know there's a lot of stuff I haven't gotten to. When is the Alfred Hitchcock show coming? Rich, it's coming Thursday. So Jamie Laszlo, Dan Brown, and myself will be giving you our 10 favorite Alfred Hitchcock films. Looking forward to that. Been watching a lot of Hitchcock films of late. And then stay tuned for the following week on the Monsters Den, because you have Chris Sallow, Rich Catino, myself will be giving you our 5 favorite David Cronenberg films. So stay tuned for that. So got a couple good episodes coming up. Do I like sports? I'm a baseball fan. I'm a New York Met fan. I love boxing. I used to watch a bit of tennis. There's really no other sports that do it for me. I don't like football. I don't like basketball. Don't really like hockey. That's about it. Don't like soccer. What else? Please try and listen to the Arctic Monkeys. I got a million things to listen to. Maybe at some point, but I think you guys don't understand like the extent of the things that I need to constantly be listening to. It's astronomical. So when people say, "Oh, can you listen to this? Can you tell me what you think of this?" I just don't have time. Blaine, I think it's like the 10th time you've asked about Robin Ford. I love Robin Ford. Great guitar player. Saw him live 2 years ago. Amazing. There you have it. From Josh, on your recent video with Martin on songs that you don't fit on an album, I Got Tattooed by Van Halen. Yeah, I hate that song. That totally doesn't fit on that album. I know some people love it, but yes, hit that like button, please. That totally helps out. More power metal rankings. Rich Catino, are you listening? Been listening to a ton of Toto lately. Great band. Yeah, Justin. I love Toto. Great band. Favorite horror film music score from David Jones. Again, I'm not a big score guy, but I would have to say I love Halloween and I love Suspiria. fantastic. The Exorcist, these are some of the main and obvious ones, but those are the ones that I kind of, always seem to stick out for me. Jeff Beck's Truth or Led Zeppelin 1? Well, I actually think, it depends on when you ask me. I think someone asked me that question like last year at some point. I think at the time I actually picked Truth. I love the Truth album. I love Led Zeppelin 1 too. For me, it's like I think Led Zeppelin 1 has been so overplayed to me in my life because I listened to it so much that sometimes, like in more recent years, I tend to reach for Truth a little bit more because it's not as kind of overplayed for me. But they're both absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. What about the Macho Man? Oh, yeah. I always love the Macho Man. Yep. Pete, thanks for turning me on to that band Thunder. Don't thank me. Thanks, Stephen Reed, man. He turned me on to them. I never listened to them ever. And I bought the new album and the first one. It's a good band. Good band. I'll have to kind of dive a little deeper. I know they have a lot of albums, and we'll be getting a Thunder album ranking from Stephen at some point, not too distant future. Yeah, Gary, what's happening? 48-hour day, man. Does a boy wonders, right? I'm telling you. Mick Rouse said Robin Ford is his favorite guitar player. I wouldn't be surprised. Robin is an amazing guitar player. Do I have time for sports, exercise, etc.? Well, I don't play any sports, but yeah, no, I try to every day on my lunch hour. I leave the house and I either go to the gym or there's a park nearby that has like an outdoor workout facility, place trails and things like that. So yeah, I try to keep pretty active as much as I can. It was tough. Last year was tough though, with COVID, everything shut down. Then the winter set in. I mean, I was like, I put on weight. I just felt like shit. And I've since lost 13 pounds and getting back in shape and just loving life. So yeah. Plus I got a pool. So I go swimming and I'll try and go swimming, do my laps in the morning and in the evening, during the week, and on the weekends, try to just, stay as busy as possible. From Tristan, hey Pete, do you know the band Grobschnitt? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Cool band, cool German band. I have a couple of their albums on CD, probably their two most well known. Tim Morash, what is going on? My old buddy. So for those of you who are in the chat, is Tim Morash from Virginia Beach. Tim and I know each other probably, what, Tim? Almost 50 years? Holy cow. What's going on? Dude, I hope you're coming up to visit us here in New York at some point. We'd love to see you again because I don't think we've seen each other in about, 2 years, man? So, Tim, what's going on? Man, what a pleasant surprise. What's happening, Tim? It's always great when, folks, and I'm sure many people know this, when you have like a childhood friend that you still keep in touch with much later in life. So Tim and I and a bunch of other people that I grew up with, usually we try to get together like at least once a year when Tim comes up to visit family in the area. We all get together and go out for, a couple drinks or something like that and just kind of have a good time and stuff. So yeah, Tim, shoot me a text, brother. All right, we should definitely catch up. Do you all like the Megadeths? I didn't know there were Megadeths, but yeah, Megadeth, great band. Great band. Do I like Dark Throne? I like some of the early Dark Throne stuff. I don't like that kind of I like the early black metal Dark Throne. I'm really not much into anything they've done post late 90s. Just, do I have any stuff by Caterpillar? Yeah, I do. Great, cool band. Very cool. Let's see. Aiden Gaming. Sorry. Blaine Smith. Do I like Robin Ford? Here's the one. Yeah, I gotta tell you something. Here's the one thing that really is a pet peeve of mine. You guys a lot of times ask me what are my pet peeves. One of my pet peeves is when we're doing one of these live shows or any of the live premieres and the live streams, when people take their question and they feel the need to post it like 100 times. It's like I really hate that me, look at me thing that so many people love to do nowadays. So the more I see that, the less I'm inclined to answer your question or give you any feedback. So post it once like most normal people do, and I will get to it when I get to it. All right. Because that just screams to me like, forget everybody else, read my question. All right. And I've mentioned you 3-4 times. That's the last you get today. Let's see. What else? What do I think about the 2020 Vandenberg album? Love it. Didn't you see my review on here? I gave it a pretty high ranking here. Yeah, totally love it. Will I ever rank the albums of Anthrax? I don't know. I'm not the hugest Anthrax fan anymore. I used to dig them back in the day. I'm familiar with all their albums. I mean, I could probably do it. I don't own any of them anymore. I could probably rank them. You guys might not be happy with the ranking. That's the thing. So I'm not much on Anthrax anymore. They're one of those bands from that era that just has not aged well with me, It's like they're one of the bigger thrash bands that I still listen to all the other ones. I don't listen to them anymore. Name the band that you would love to have seen but never got the chance. Okay, so someone asked me this on the last show, and I really couldn't think of any. Since I did the show with Rich and Bryce last weekend, Merciful Fate. I've never seen Merciful Fate live. I hope to rectify that if they release the album and come out and tour, because I would love to see Merciful Fate at least once. Magic Pot, you are very welcome, my friend. That's what I'm here for, right? Did I ever rank the Michael Schenkel Group albums? Yeah, I think I did a top 10 or something like that, because he's got a lot of albums. Any results so far from the favorite saying line quote? No, I haven't sat down and tallied anything yet. It's more about me reading and looking to see what's in there. I will sit down and do that in about a week or so. So yeah, you'll hear the results from that, and I'm going to tell you my favorites, okay? Because I think that'll be just as much fun for me as well. If you could see any band in their prime, who would you see? Well, it's hard to pinpoint just one. I would have loved to have seen Led Zeppelin in like 74 or 75, or maybe even 72, 73. I would have loved to have seen Gentle Giant like right around that same time, and I would love to have seen Genesis like maybe circa 72 or 73. I also would have loved to see Black Sabbath in like 71, 72. So yeah, I know that's a lot right there, but those are probably the ones. Jordan Rudess is playing 2 solo shows in Saratoga Springs. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't hear that. King Crimson. Yeah, King Crimson's out on tour. I am considering going to see the Saratoga Springs show, so we'll see. This is a lot going on at that time, so I'm not really sure. Yeah, I love Todd's version of Queensryche too, Mike. Absolutely. What else we got here? Budgie album rankings. I've already done it. You know, for you people who keep asking, when are you going to do these things? When are you going to do these things? Do a search on the channel, folks. I have done like 400 ranking the album shows. Search, go to the playlist. That's what they're there for. Best concert at Shea Stadium. The only one I ever saw was The Who. It's the only time I've seen a concert at Shea Stadium. Guilty pleasure songs or bands. Go check out the videos we did of them. And you can hear it all. What else? All right, just put another person in the timeout, because again, if you're going to post your same question 100 times, we don't need you on here. Do I like Steel Panther? Not really. Let's see. What else we got here? And we're running short on time, so I'm going to kind of skim through real quick. Let me go all the way to the most recent ones we got here. Let's go down. Let's see. Andy Sutton, can you say my name? There, you happy? Jesus. Loudest concert I ever saw. Well, it's either Manowar or Gigantor, the first Gigantor tour with Megadeth, Dream Theater, Symphony X, Nevermore, and a bunch of other bands. Holy moly, Mid-Hudson Civic Center. Will I ever rank Charlie Daniels Band albums? I can probably give you like a top 10. I think that's on my list. That's about all you get. Do I like Elvis Presley? I mean, who doesn't like Elvis Presley? But I'm more of like, I'm a greatest hits Elvis Presley guy. Do I ever play acoustic guitar? Very rarely. I have one. I almost never play it. Do I wear earplugs when I go to concerts? Yes. When you get to be my age, you have to do that. Do I like pop punk? No. Nope. Let's see. Favorite live album from overseas series, Deep Purple. Man, there's a lot of good ones. Probably, man, I'd have to think about that, because I like a lot. I don't know if I could pick just one. That's a great series. If you're a Deep Purple fan, you don't have any of those live albums, you need to get them. Tell Sydney Taylor she's nice eye candy. God, some of you people. Comments on Gojira. I mean, I like Gojira. I don't have their latest. I have a couple of their early ones. Yeah, Gojira's great. Do I like Funeral Doom? Mike, or McAllis, I gotta be in the mood for it. I like some of it, but man, that stuff kind of wears on me after a while. Do I like the Black Keys? Nah, not really my thing. You said you like comics. I have a comic book channel. Come on, Comic Book Geezers. Guys, if you've never checked out Comic Book Geezers, please go over to my channel here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and check out some of the video we've got. We're on YouTube 4 years there. We got probably hundreds and hundreds of videos. So I'm a 60s, 70s, and 80s comic book guy, but I like a lot of Batman stuff from DC. So there's do I like Voyage of the Acolyte by Steve Hackett? Well, Jonathan, why don't you go watch my Steve Hackett album ranking and see where it wound up. Who's my favorite comedian? George Carlin is my favorite all-time comedian. I love George Carlin. May he rest in peace. Yeah, Gary, I think a bunch of us are going to be in Prudential for Judas Priest. So far, there's, I think, 3 or 4 of us or more who have tickets already. So, yeah. So we may try and do like a meetup at a bar nearby because there's so many cool bars there. So, yeah. So for those of you who live in the New Jersey area, New York, New Jersey area, and you're going to go see Judas Priest in Newark in October, be on the lookout. We will be there. Do I like Swedish death metal? Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. All right, guys. Yeah, Alec, George was the best. So ahead of his time. What are some of my favorite comedy films? I like older comedies. I'm like an Abbott and Costello junkie. So I like old Abbott and Costello stuff. I like, stuff like Animal House and things. I don't find like recent comedies funny at all. How are you doing with your XTC catalog? Well, I did an XTC album ranking. I have the whole catalog. So go check out that episode that Martin Popoff and I did. Do dogs have a sixth sense? I don't know. Pete, are you a religious guy or atheist? I am not an atheist, but I'm not a religious guy. So I'm somewhere in between. Rammstein, yay or nay? Nay. I already said it earlier in the episode. What else? Did I ever get to see John Abercrombie? No, I would have loved to. Great guitar player. Do you ever try to make music yourself? I used to. I just don't have time for it. And I'm not that, when it comes to creating music, I'm not that creative. So... from Rui Pedro Nogueira. Peter, you have been my favorite show. Thank you. You're very welcome. You should listen to Moonspell. I have a few Moonspell albums. Not a huge fan. They're okay. Thank you and Martin for the Y&T show. You're welcome. I bet you can get Alex and Getty on your show. Yeah, guys, it's easier said than done getting some of these folks on the show. I'm telling you. What else? Sting top 10? Nah. Tom Petty rankings? Nah. Sorry. Best female hard rock singer, Ann Wilson, easily. Mammoth Wolfgang Van Halen review. I don't have the album. I may get it. It's not like on a must. I like what I've heard, but it's not like I need to run out and get it tomorrow. But maybe at some point. We'll see. Anyway, Sting and Peter Gabriel rankings. Probably not Sting, but Peter Gabriel is coming. Do you prefer Gentle Giant with or without full Shillman? I love all of it. I don't know. There's no preference or non-preference. I think it's all great. What is the next concert you have tickets for? Allman Brothers in Kansas, Bethel Woods in August. That's the first one I'm going to. Favorite Schenker solo? Rock Bottom from the Strangers in the Night album. Orange amps or Marshall amps? Marshall amps definitely, but I do have an orange as well. The Gathering ranking, perhaps at some point. I don't think I have. I don't know about if I have all the later ones, the last couple ones. I think I might. I think once Annika left the band, I kind of like checked out. But thoughts on Tony Levin's Chapman stick? Amazing. Any more Steve Hughes appearance upcoming? Not yet, but Steve and I communicate fairly regularly, so we will get him on the channel. Don't you forget it. Favorite Van den Plas song? Geez, I don't know. But a Van den Plas ranking the albums will be coming up with George Lemay and myself. Do you sell CDs or just collect? I just collect. Sometimes I go through the collection and I weed stuff out, and I used to try and sell them, but it's hard to sell stuff now, so I just donate it to Steve Keeler, and he sells them at Rock Fantasy. So KK Downing interview? I don't know. I haven't tried yet. Let's wait till the album comes out. Maybe some opportunities will arise, so we'll see. Rick Labonte, what's happening, my friend? Have a good weekend yourself. Hopefully the weather's a little better by you. It's really cloudy today. It was kind of drizzling this morning. So anyway, speaking of the weather, I need to go and mow my grass, guys. So this has been fun. No, I am not related to Don Pardo, although a little inside joke. I used to tell people for many years when I was younger that Don was my uncle, and people would believe me. And then I'd be like, nah, just kidding. So yeah, no relation to Don Pardo. Brian Auger, yes, Brian Auger, amazing keyboard player. Awesome. So there you have it, everybody. So we're going to kind of check out here now. About 500 of you. Holy smokes. Constantine, I've already answered that. My Gibson Les Paul standard. So thanks, everybody, for watching. We greatly appreciate it. And have a good day yourself. Hopefully I got to a lot of your questions. I know there were a ton of them. I try to kind of blast through them as quickly as I possibly can. I think I do a pretty good job of. Favorite Redemption album, Maxine? Stay tuned for the rankings. That's coming somewhat soon. I would love to talk to Mark Farner. I already reached out to him. I haven't heard back from him, so we'll see what happens. All right, so everybody, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we are on YouTube all the damn time. All right, so we got like 435 people on right now. We only have 149 likes, so I want everybody to click that like button right now. I want to see that shoot up past 200 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. We don't got enough. Come on, guys. I'm not going to end this until everybody click that like button. There we go. 196. Let's get it over 200. Let's go. Come on. 211. Let's go to 300. Everybody, we've got 407 people on here right now. I know not all of you have clicked that like button. So let's go. Click, 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 click. 225, 236. There we go. So anyway, where was I? Thanks for watching. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube. Everybody say it with me. Type it in the chat all the damn time. Stay tuned. Coming up tomorrow morning for another edition of Classic Album Rewind. We're going to do a little Kiss tomorrow. I think you all probably know what that album is going to be. And hopefully I'm going to get to the Amboy Dukes album ranking tomorrow, as well as an album ranking of jazz fusion band Elements. So stay tuned. There we go. All the damn time, all over the place. Yeah, Tepid Tooth. I shouldn't need to tell everybody to click that like button. I know, but that's, some people forget. So all the damn time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at all that. Look at all that. Love it. So thanks for watching, everybody. I am signing out. Pete Pardo. We'll see you all real soon. Take care. Thanks again. Have a great weekend, everybody. And thanks for spending some time with us today. Bye-bye.